really take the time to understand who you are and really know that no one can change that. And your vision is your vision. And if this is what you want, you could do it. So keep going.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and get started.
Yay.
All right, hello everyone. This is the Apprentice Podcast, and my name is Brittany Ransom. All right, so we have a brand new guest. We have Kristen Mitchell, aka Cece the Poet, and she is going to tell us a little bit about herself and her business, Sound on the Hill. And so, first, I want to get started and just kind of ask you a little about who you are. And if you don't mind, I might ask you to slow down at some point so I can be like, okay, let me get the juice out of that moment and everything. But like, yeah, just tell me a little about who you are and where you come from.
Okay, well, I'm from Mobile originally. I moved here in 2013 for school at Alabama A&M. Yeah. I started Sound on the Hill, Sound Everywhere as an internship for myself for college. From that, it came from me just like interviewing my friends, people who were doing music around me and asked me for their opinions, stuff like that. I really, at the time, really wanted to be a journalist. I was writing a lot of articles and things like that, which is how Sound on the Hill originally started. And I really didn't even put a face to the brand just because I was more interested in just like journalism and just writing and people just not having to, needing a face to know or understand my perspective on things around in the city. But as time went on, as the word got around, of course, once things grow, you have to put a face to the name.
Yeah, it's like, who is this person?
Right, and it really was a little challenging for me because I wasn't really just this major social person. I can talk to anyone, but I just really always stayed to myself and really didn't put myself out there like that. But in the process of building a brand, I definitely had to accomplish that first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, exactly. Oh, and I definitely relate to that because you're introverted and everything. Yeah, I'm very much introverted as well, and so this is kind of like. At first, it was just me with just showing a camera on someone and be like, okay, that's it. But now, like, okay, let me get out now. But
really enjoy that though, because you learn so much about yourself in the process, and just challenging yourself to do things that you wouldn't normally do makes you grow as a person.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of my best benefits when it comes to putting together my own company, and I'm still learning today.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Oh, we all, Lord. But I do want to ask you more about what did you learn the most? Like, what was, I guess, the biggest leap for yourself? Like, as someone who's introverted, who's like, I'm gonna start this business. I will ?
I would say the biggest leap for me was having to just go out to everything and really just walk up to people I didn't know and just tell them who I was or what I was trying to do, and making sure, really just hoping that they understand where I'm coming from and what I'm trying to build, and if not, being okay with them not understanding, but me walking away with the courage to even approach.
Yeah.
I think that was my biggest accomplishment challenge when it came down to talking to random people.
Yeah. Ooh, Lord, that's like the biggest fear for a lot of people.
No, it's really hard, and a lot of people make it look easy, but I feel like even the people who make it look easy have a hard time with it because it's not something, unless you're just a social butterfly like that, it's not something that's just going to come to you. Yeah. Something you have to really push yourself and grow into.
And was it hard taking those, did you ever get no's, and was it hard taking those no's?
I definitely got some no's. The no's may shock you or surprise you when you get them, but you just keep going.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of yeses in those no's. And me, as far as building Sound on the Hill, it really wasn't about who approved or who didn't. It was more so about acknowledging creatives, showing them that, you know, it's people out here that will support you just for you being you, just for you being creative, you know, because it is a job just like a regular 9 to 5. The amount of work that you have to put in when it comes to your craft. So that was the most important thing to me. So even when you get those no's, it's like, okay, well, hopefully one day they'll understand. And me about to go into year 6, a lot of the people who did tell me no, now to this day are like, okay, well, I understand now. I see your vision. I see what you've accomplished throughout the years, and that means a lot to me.
Oh wow, that's really beautiful that you say that, because then the business stretches not just for you doing this for you, but like you doing it for other people. So it's like, I'm not even the one benefiting from this. Like, I love that. And let's say that makes the business stretch farther than you're even thinking right now. I know some people are probably like still impacted by that to this day. So that's kind of powerful.
Yes, and it was just important for me because I'm an artist as well, and a lot of people, I guess, didn't know that about me when I first started. And I pride myself on being able to do both, because a lot of people feel like you have to choose. And I feel like if you're a creative, you never have to choose, because you're the one being creative. Like you are the brand. You're the brand. You're creating everything. However you want to do it is the vision. So that's.
Oh, I love that. Well, I guess speaking of the vision, that vision, like, I know you do poetry and everything. Yes, how is that not balancing, I guess, but like putting those two together within your visionary brand, like Sound on the Hill, Sound Everywhere, and poetry?
I've been doing poetry, but I've been doing it more for I guess you would say the last 2 years, incorporating it within Sound on the Hill, and I think that comes from watching my team and really just me wanting to be more personal with my brand, because I don't feel like creatives talk a lot about having to have that business mind, but also still remembering who you are as a person, as an individual. And sometimes those two can clash into each other. And I always want to make sure that I never forget about who I am when it comes to my artistry. So it's very important for me to perform at the open mics and for artists to see me up there, because a lot of times when they perform is usually for the first time, you know, and I'm grateful for creatives to feel comfortable in a space that I created or my team created, and, you know, showcase their talent. So if I'm asking them to do that or making them feel comfortable to do that, I have to be comfortable as well.
You got to lead from the front.
Right.
Ooh, Lord. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And, like, I guess even, like, in that, I guess, with making sure you don't lose yourself and everything, there has to be a foundation there, right? Like, a
absolutely.
Why. What would you say is yours? Is it, or whether it's a person or, like, a hobby? I can't even speak. A hobby?
My foundation is really just me continuously using my pen. I don't really have any true structure when it comes to how I create. I just really let my words flow. Now I do like write about certain aspects of my life, and you know, I'm a good storyteller and things like that, so I do incorporate that stuff as well. But the foundation is really me just trying to figure out me. Yeah. I feel like even with having a team, there's so many personalities when you put together a team, you know what I'm saying? And especially when all of them are creatives as well. I realized that, like, I have to be at a certain level as far as comfortability when it comes to my craft and how I structure things in order for them to feel comfortable, and they are my foundation as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, we build together. So it's just very important for me to just stay aware of how consistent I am when it comes to creating.
Yeah. I was just talking about that with someone yesterday about how consistency is key discipline of it all.
Yes.
Ooh, like, was it a struggle for you? Or
It
you think
still is.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. I mean, you have your days where, you know, you're like this, you ready to go. Like, everything you do is just, you know, in order, organized. And then you have the days where you feel really down and you might feel like you haven't met the goals that you thought you were going to accomplish in a certain amount of time, you know. So you have your down days. You have the days where you don't want to do anything. Like,
yes.
I've had days where I've cried my eyes out, you know. I've had days where I've, you know, felt really happy and just really wanted to run my business. You know, it's just really, it's a everyday lesson.
Yeah.
It's an everyday lesson. Nothing's perfect. That's what I love about being an entrepreneur, because everything doesn't have to be perfect. And people need to realize that if you're dreaming something, if you are wanting to accomplish your vision, it's not going to be perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you're creating your own vision. You're creating something that no one else can see.
That is true.
Yeah.
It's just, and that sometimes I feel kind of daunting in a way because like I don't know what don't know what I'm doing, but I know what I'm not doing, but just like I don't know what it's gonna look like, like you were saying, but it's just like I know that's what I want. That's what the kind of life I want, but like I know like even in that, what's it like being able to like create that vision for yourself or creating those goals, even though people might not see it, those around you.
It's amazing because sometimes you get the most accomplished when you can't see what's in front, what's ahead. I've gotten a lot of opportunities where I thought that, you know, I probably would have never gotten just because I didn't see it, you know, or I don't know. But once you continue to flow into what you love, it's going to always come, like the blessings are going to come back to you every time. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You just have to stay consistent. That's the main thing. Just you can be like, okay, I know it's been times where I'm like, because I don't want it to sound like cliche or anything, or, you know, it's been times where I'm like, okay, I don't know what to do in this situation. I really don't know. But I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure that things get done in the way that I want them to, you know. So I'm just going to keep flowing into my craft, whatever I'm doing. And then in doing that, those are when the opportunities come of you saying like, okay, I didn't have a venue, but now this venue is calling me and they want us to use the space. Or someone needs an interview. Someone wants to highlight their brand. You know, people come out of nowhere. And then I've met so many different people just based off having the faith of my vision being true.
Yeah. That's really nice.
Yeah.
And I'm like asking for advice for myself too in a way because like the past couple of days I've been kind of like stressed out. I'm like I don't know where I want to take this. I don't know what I want to do. Is there like something like a habit or some advice you have for those down days to help you get back to like yourself?
On those down days, do what you love. Do what makes you comfortable. Me, I'm a big music head, so I listen to music all day. I'll meditate to jazz. I like to sketch sometimes. Just anything that I love. I watch a show, and I'll be okay with me just sitting there and watching a show. You have to be okay with your down days. Like you have to allow yourself to feel through them. And I feel like the world puts so much pressure on people to continuously go, you know, and people feel uncomfortable when they stop. But you really have to allow yourself to feel that uncomfortableness when it comes to, just being a human.
People don't know how to be human.
That's what I'm saying. So, be okay with you just listening to music that day, or be okay with you just watching TV. Be okay with you just sitting there doing nothing. Let yourself feel that, but know that you got to pick yourself back up.
Yeah.
And you got to keep going.
That's something I really need to hear, because I know sometimes I'm just like, if I'm in those down spots, I'm like, and even after rushing the whole week and then having that one down spot, I'm like, what am I doing? I should keep going, and I feel lazy and all that stuff. So this really helps out a lot, because my mindset needs to change a little bit.
And it may sound like I'm saying it and it comes easy for me now, but I was definitely the person that was just like, I got to do something. I can't just sit here. I got things to do. I want to do this. I want to make sure, everything's right in that moment. And in doing that, you will burn yourself out.
Yeah.
And things will automatically just crash, just so you can feel like, if you continue to do this, this is what's going to happen. So allow yourself to feel, and then just reset yourself, and then get back up and start over. Because it's okay to start over.
It's okay to start over.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
For me. For me. Yeah.
No, it's just the realness of being a creative. And being a human, you know what I'm saying? Because, a lot of the times, people who aren't creative, they may not understand what a creative has to go through. What's in our mind, what we're drawing up. They don't get it because they're more of a structural type of person, and it's okay to have structure for sure. But it's also okay to have your own type of structure. A lot of people aren't able to create their own structure for themselves. So they can't understand when, someone has made up their own. They only know what has been showed to them, what has been given to them, and how they move, how that has, had something to do with how they move in their life.
And they don't really recognize it unless something big or great happens. It's
right.
Well, maybe you got something going.
Right. This is what I was trying to tell you the whole time.
All right, better late than never, I guess. But it's all good. Yeah. But I did want to ask you about Sound on the Hill, Sound Everywhere. Where does that name inspire? Where was that name inspired from?
Okay, so Sound on the Hill was given to me as a project in college by my friend. His name is Channing Hampton. Yeah. So he was like, the name is Sound on the Hill. I don't care what you do with it. Just name it Sound on the Hill. So I'm like, okay. And this was in the time where people were coming to me and wanting me to hear their music and stuff, and I was doing little articles here and there. So I'm like, okay, this is cool. And then I added the Sound Everywhere because I'm like, I want to go everywhere with this. I don't want it to just be a local thing. I'm from Mobile, I know a lot of people in Birmingham and Montgomery and surrounding areas, so the Sound Everywhere part came from me wanting to always represent where I'm from and surrounding areas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's why it's Sound on the Hill, Sound Everywhere. And it's sometimes it's hard to separate the two or get people to understand the separation of the two. But when it comes together, it's Sound on the Hill, regardless, that's the brand. Yeah.
Okay. I love it. That was good. Yeah. And that, how's I guess, grown over the years? How has it grown over the years?
What
Sound on the Hill? Yeah, your brand. Yeah.
It has grown tremendously. When we first started, like I was saying, I was writing articles, and then from there we were popping up to different events around the city, just shouting out different local businesses and vendors and things like that. And then for the past few years, it's shifted a little bit because we've gotten more attention from the artist standpoint than the vendors lately.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to still find that balance of promoting both or acknowledging both.
Yeah.
But I will say it's grown just by the amount of artists that we've been reaching, the amount of vendors and local businesses that we've been able to approach, the respect that we have gained in the city just by us doing what we do.
Yeah.
You know, the team. This is the first time where I've had 15 to 18 people on a team.
Yeah.
And so all of them are creatives. All of them are getting booked and performing and putting themselves out there. So it's really like now it's like you really can't be in the room without at least one Sound on the Hill member at an event.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? So
okay.
that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's really awesome. And even in choosing that team, like, what was it like being able to like pass that vision on, or even like, I'm not sure what the dynamic is, but even like exchanging, like, okay, you have your ideas, I have mine, let's merge these.
Okay, so I feel like I have a unique way of choosing my team.
Yeah.
A lot. It's like I always know when I'm going to add someone. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just something in them that reminds me of me when I started, or just like the determination that they have about themselves. That's what I look at first. And then it's like, what type of personality does this person have? Would they feel comfortable in front of the camera or behind? Is there strong points? Are there strong points, you know, going to an event or performing? Just different aspects like that. Like, some of them, you know, it's been times where somebody might be like a little feisty and everybody's like, what's wrong with this person in the room? But I'm looking like, okay, I think we can work with her. Like, I think she'll be dope on the team. It's been times where I've seen someone like sitting in the corner and, you know, they might be over there writing a song or something, but nobody's paying attention to them because they're not saying anything to anybody, but I see them, you know what I'm saying? So it makes me want to start a conversation. And I guess with coming together as a team, it's really about, you have to think about what you want to accomplish, not just in that moment, but for the future. Like, how do you see your brand moving forward? What do you think your brand needs? And a lot of the times with creating a team, it's a hit or miss. It's trial and error. Like, you're going to start over multiple times, and that's okay, which is why I utilize being able to have interns that are in school that can come in, you know, and get their hours and experience the experience.
Yeah, yes.
And then decide whether they want to stay with the team or if they want to just go and do their own thing. I've had people use our platform to start their own show. Wow. So we have, if you go on Instagram and go through our series, you'll see one of the interns who came in and he started his own show on the page. Yeah. Shout out to Philip. But yeah, it's really just giving other people opportunities that I wish people would have given me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the times I felt like I was doing a lot of things on my own, and then I would be the only Black woman in the room, and that made me feel some type of way. Yeah. Because it's like, are people actually listening to me? Are they really understanding where I'm coming from? Or are they just smiling, you know, and nodding their head, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I just don't want other people to feel like that when it comes to wanting to be creative and wanting to push themselves out there. Yeah. So that's really why I have a team. And it's a lot of politics that goes into the creative world as well, with anything really. But it's a lot of things that people need to understand behind the scenes before they just put themselves out there. It's not just about performance, it's about really knowing your craft, knowing how to network, knowing, how to observe a room. Just it's so many aspects to it, and I feel like it's taken me a while to actually understand the way how certain things move. So I want to bring as many people in on it as I can now, so they'll know, okay, well, don't think that this is just going to be perfect, or you're just going to make it, or it's just going to be that, it's like being in school, almost like you're teaching yourself.
Yeah, snap. How is it, I guess, the offering, almost, I guess, I'm not, if this is the right word, if the wrong word, let me know, like, mentorship, I guess, in a way, for your, it's what it sounds like to me, but I could be wrong, but.
A lot of people say that, and it's crazy because, like, and I don't know if other mentors feel like this, but the mentor word just used to terrify me so bad, because I'm like, I don't want people to look at me when I feel like I'm not all the way where I need to be. These mentees are looking at me like, okay, maybe I should follow in her footsteps, but it's kind of that thing of like, I'm not sure where we're going, but this is what I know. Like, this is what I've learned throughout this whole time, so maybe it can help you. And then now it's like, okay, that is mentorship. Like, you don't have to be perfect. You are human, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I feel like if you have some type of information that you've learned and that you feel is important, you can be a mentor. You can encourage someone else. No matter if it's small or if you're just a huge impact in their life, you're still a mentor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just 1 or 2 steps ahead of people.
Right.
Like, look back, hey, let me pull you to my space, let me learn together.
Right. Yes, absolutely.
Did it take you a while to get to call yourself a mentor, or do you not call yourself a mentor? You just be like, hey, I
still don't.
Yeah.
I still don't. I'm like, this is my advice. I want you to have your own experience, but if this helps you, then it helps you. If it doesn't, then hopefully you learn from whatever decision that you made.
Yeah.
And that's all I can give you right now.
Yeah,
That's
good. That's good.
But we're gonna keep working, and we're gonna try to make it. We're gonna try to get there.
Exactly. All you can do.
Yes.
So, have you ever had anybody that has inspired you? Anybody, or just anything, an idea?
Yes. Okay. So, I have a creative writing teacher in high school at John L. LaFleur back home in Mobile. Her name is Erica Massey. She really inspired me as a writer. She really gave me an opportunity to express myself in a way that I didn't know I could at the time. She really taught me the importance of poetry, and having to be in that class and having to do my first open mic really opened my eyes to a world that I did not see at that time.
Yeah.
And then doing that open mic, and then having a phenomenal poet in the audience by the name of Alex Lofton. Well, his poetry name is Huggy Bear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but he basically called up me and my friends after that open mic and gave us another performance opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
And so in doing that, that's where I really got to see poets, because I think I was like 17, 18.
Yeah, that's early.
The place was called at the time the Purple Cafe or something like that. And we went. We weren't supposed to be in there, but we went.
Yeah.
And got the opportunity to perform, got the opportunity to see a bunch of phenomenal poets. And that really just inspired me to continue doing what I was doing. And it really taught me that it was a craft and it wasn't just a hobby that I had.
Yeah.
So those are some huge inspirations to me. In college, Jules, he's not here anymore. He's from Jersey. But he had a brand called Juice, which he still has.
Oh, yeah.
And I got the opportunity to do some behind the scenes work with him. And, he would do freestyle events and ciphers around the school and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
So that was really dope. Really introduced me to an in-person experience to hip hop. And it just inspired me to really write down what I wanted the steps for my business to be, as far as acknowledging the culture first and really acknowledging the artists that put themselves out there.
Yeah.
So I definitely see him as an inspiration, and his business has definitely grown since then as well. So yeah.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing.
No problem.
And I do would like to hear more about, I guess, your poetry and just how that has grown and your favorites you have.
Okay, so with poetry, I feel like I've been through so many different phases of myself with writing. I definitely have over 1,000 poems.
Snap. Okay. I love that. I love that though.
But I recently, it's crazy that you said 2020 was a hard time for you. I had writer's block for 2 years.
Ooh.
I didn't write anything new for 2 years. And I don't know, I was just stuck. I wanted to write every day, but I just didn't. And last year I broke it, and I ended up writing 60 poems in 6 months. And then I got my first paid opportunity to perform.
Wow.
So I did a lot of paid performances last year, which have rolled into this year.
Nice.
I've performed at Panoply, the art festival here, twice. I performed at a bunch of different venues in the city. And now I am becoming more personal with my writing and really putting structure to a book. So I will be releasing a book soon.
Oh, this year soon? Or if you don't mind, you don't have to share if you don't want. You want to keep it a secret?
Hopefully this year.
Yeah, okay.
But I said I wasn't going to rush it.
Okay. Yeah, no rush.
Because I'm also adding an audio to it as well. So it's not going to be your typical audio book.
Oh, yeah?
But, it's going to be dope. It's going to be dope, yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's so
Thank
cool. You said not typical audiobook. I'm excited. You got come up your sleeves, something new and surprising.
But if you kind of want some sneak peeks to some of the poems, I do have a platform on Instagram called Poet Deposit.
Poet Deposit, okay.
Yes, so on the platform, if you are an artist, you can actually deposit your poems into the DMs, and I'll feature you on the page. You can do it anonymously, or you can put your name on there, and then I'll create a post for your poem or whatever you like to share. And so each post is a deposit. So it's like a poetry bank.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
How long have you had that Poet Deposit?
For about, I think 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's so
2 years.
cool. Poet Deposit. Okay, I'll put that in the show notes. I'll put that in the Instagram and everything in the show notes. That's so cool.
Yes.
Snap. So you encourage other, I guess, do you have any other poets on your team? Are you encourage other poets?
Yes, we have a few poets on the team. We have Arya Cawthon, which her poetry name is Ascension. And then we have Kiani Taylor, which is Queen Kiani.
Oh, wow.
We have Alicia Holman, which is Humbly. She's a singer, songwriter, poet. We have Aaron. His artist name is Low-Eyed. He's the poet. Yeah, all of them are really poets for real.
Yeah.
But those are the two who actually consider themselves spoken word artists. So yes.
Wow. What goes into, like, I guess, creating a name, like a stage name almost, or a poetry name? I'm not sure how to.
Well, for me, mine's funny because when I was in college, it was a bunch of people named Cece. Or like really every time I'm around, it's like always either like two or three other Cece's in a room. So the way people would, describe everyone, they'll be like, "Oh, Cece, the one who did that," or "Cece, that the one that did that," and I'll be like, "Cece the Poet."
Okay.
So like,
you told me to make this for myself. Like,
right?
Yeah.
So it's Cece the Poet. And it just stuck to me. I really didn't put any thought into it.
I love that. That's really cool.
Yeah, but yeah, I think a poetry names most of the times they are given to you. Like if you're in a poetry club or something like that, they give you a poetry name. Other times you kind of just have to find your own and fill it out.
Get inspired. Nice. That's really cool.
Yes.
Do you have like a favorite poem that you
like one of mine?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, you want me to say it?
Yeah, if you want to. I want. Let me. Yeah.
Okay, it's called The Listener. It's ears are like whirlpools. Your troubles meet at my conflicting currents and take on the chance of unknowingly drawing my feelings. And okays become my favorite answers to the bastards that live within your phrases. But I push through all the phases, giving birth to our conversations. I forever keep it real with you. If you cut my advice, you'll find layers of definitions, every slice of its intention to give your heart all the attention it needs but never had. It's sad to be abandoned. Your venting becomes a melody. Traveling down my boombox, my job lives in the boondocks next to Tupac and hip-hop. You're the voiceover that my mind plays over. As your songs get bolder, as your words get colder, your November thoughts treat themselves to my jacuzzi. I get oozy when they choose me. It's like they know they'll never lose me. I must forget about the personal. And even though you leak your personal, the things I have to say live on a thin line between an arsenal. I hear that you're remarkable. All your troubles are markable. I rarely speak because I would rather hear the whispers. The world is crazy, spiraling down the ears of a die-hearted contender. Call me the listener.
Snap. Okay. Yeah. Forgot snap in the right. Wow. That was called The Listener?
Yeah, that was it.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
But that's my favorite one because it kind of describes who I am as a person. I always was the listener for my friends or the listener for anyone who felt like they needed to get something off their chest. And in the process of listening, I started just realizing things about myself and how I could speak up more in the times that I choose not to. And like it being that thin line between an arsenal, you know what I'm saying? Like, and really being respected as a listener, you know, because a lot of people can't do that.
That's true.
But also really, it also says, you know, that I understand as well. Like, I'm listening to you, I'm understanding what you're saying, and, you know, that's me.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that. I mean, I need that written down somewhere for a poster. Like,
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It may be in the book.
Okay, great. So we're getting the book. So plug real quick. Yeah. Oh, that's so exciting.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. And how many poems you putting in the book?
So this one is probably gonna be maybe about 50 for the first one.
Oh, it's not you. You're gonna start slow with us, and then you're gonna.
Yeah. Okay. So what I want to do, I want to start doing the poet deposits live. So I probably will be doing that soon this year. Cool. So people could like come in and just give their opinion on the different series that I have, and then I'll choose what's going to be in the book for sure. And then really just so I can, share.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of pieces that are just like,
yeah, I feel like people need to hear. That one was really good. More people need to hear. I love that.
Thank you.
Do you ever put on like poetry nights and stuff like that?
So we do have the open mic night.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is poetry, R&B, rap, whatever your talent is.
Oh, wow.
But we used to do just poetry. I do want to bring like poetry only open mics back. Yeah. It's really hard to get the poets to come out sometimes because they do hide a lot, so I think I can always tell when people write, but I just let them
come on out,
which we do our literary link ups as well. That is our way of creating a writers community within the city.
I love that.
And to rid the thought of writer's block. So we will be starting those back in July.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just us meeting up. We give out prompts. We time the poem. We time like 3-minute prompts, 5-minute prompts, and then we'll write and share.
Oh, man.
If you want to, you don't have to share, but we've gotten a lot of poets to come out that way as well.
Nice. That's really cool. And is there like a central location that you do like everything at, like the meetups and the?
They're gonna be different every time.
Oh wow. And it's cool that you're like Sound on the Hill, Sound Everywhere started off like very communal in a way, where there's input from a lot of people and everything to create this one idea, and how it's continued to grow a community in a way even now. Do you have any goals like in the future, like what that will look like, or are you just kind of like whatever happens?
I really love the fact that we've been going into artist development a lot. So we have not since the renovations of everything, but we do performance practices, so where artists can come and perform if they don't feel comfortable on stage, or if they've never performed before. They can get critiques from creatives who come to the practices. The literary link ups for the writers. Eventually, I know we want to do some songwriter sessions, which there are some that are still going on in the city right now. Anything that can build up a creative, like we teach them about EPKs, electronic press kits, how it's important to have those so you can send people your workout via email, and I make those as well. I
love that. Yeah. That's really cool. You said electronic press kits or
electronic press kits.
Okay, so
it's kind of like a resume, but for creatives.
Oh, snap.
So it's basically like a visual resume for everything you've done. You can add your links on there. You can put your pictures. You can make anything clickable. So
cool.
When people you can put your social media on one thing, and they can click the logo and it'll go right to your social media. If you make a song or you have an ebook or something like that, put the link on there, they can click it, it'll go right to your book, right to your song, So it's just easy access to all of your information, and you basically make it like the way your aesthetic is so people can understand you as an artist.
Okay, so that's really cool. I never heard of that, so this is really cool.
Yes.
Probably need one too.
Look, I got you.
Yeah, appreciate. But I do have like it's one final question.
Yes.
If you were to give yourself advice, like you like in college or you in high school, like, or even to someone to do something similar to you, like what advice? I think you gave a lot of advice already, but I guess you had to choose one that would be like the central one. What would you choose?
If I were to give myself advice, I would, I think I would take myself back like right in the middle of when I first started Sound on the Hill. There was a time where I really wanted to quit. I really just felt like I didn't have all the experience that I needed. It was so much happening in my life at the moment, and I was really hard on myself when it came down to everything. And the advice I would give myself in that moment would just be like, really take the time to understand who you are and really know that no one can change that. And your vision is your vision. And if this is what you want, you could do it. So keep going. Yeah.
That's really good. And like finding out who you are, how would you say we go about that?
Finding about who you are, that's a work in progress. And it's going to, like, you're going to have so many phases of finding out who you are. Like,
I
because it can, and it's okay for it to change multiple times. But I just say, allow yourself to feel, like I said earlier, allow yourself to feel through all those phases, because it means something in a moment for you to just feel and express, you know, and that's the best way to figure out who you are. Because if you hold it in, that's not you being you, that's you trying to hold up a persona that, you know, you feel like other people will accept you by. But you just gotta let it go.
Yeah.
You just gotta let it go and let yourself go through it and love who you are in that moment, and just continue to love yourself and continue to grow with yourself. And it's never gonna stop. You know what I'm saying? So if you find yourself stuck, then just know that you're not going to be stuck forever. You're going to find out who you are. It's going to come naturally. My name is Cece the Poet, and this is the Apprentice Podcast.